How to manage large-size projects. During planning, the size of the project can significantly increase. It's worth spending some time to clear up the project in order to reduce project size. To clean the project, we need to do the following 4 steps. 1. Delete unnecessary 3D shapes. 2. Delete objects that are too large. 3. Delete objects that contain too many materials. 4. Remove unused materials from the project. First, let's check how many 3D shapes there are in the 3D model. Use the Build 3D Model command. As you can see, there are 188,846 surfaces. First step, delete unwanted 3D shapes. Let's see how 3D shapes can be created. When we download a compound project, we may need to discard the unwanted parts. For example, we can remove the cushion from the armchair and then we can save the chair only into the library. You can do this by clicking on the object, so this will be displayed only in 3D window. Select the Edit Components command from the local menu and then press Enter. By clicking on any elements of the armchair, you can see that it has been split into different 3D shapes, which are now editable. Every time using this command, 3D shapes will be created. 3D shapes don't have floor plan symbol. The unnecessary 3D shapes must be deleted from the plan. First, display the 3D shape in the 3D window. We do this in the following way. Activate the floor plan window. Select Create Cutaway 3D View command. With the help of this command, we can rebuild the selected part of the plan. Draw an empty rectangle below the floor plan. This way, the program will not rebuild the entire plan. It shows the potential 3D shapes only. Now activate the 3D window. We represent the model in axonometric view. The 3D shapes are in this window. To demonstrate the process properly in this example, previously we have split more 3D shapes into parts. Select all and make sure that only 3D solids, possibly lines, circles, are selected in the property grid. Delete them. Activate the floor plan window again and select the Quick 3D Model command to rebuild the model. Now check the solid number by using the Build 3D Model command. As you can see now, the 188,846 surface has dropped down to 97,303. In order to carry out the second and the third steps, we have to do some preparations. From the 3D warehouse, download objects which are too large and contain too many materials. These objects can greatly slow down the operation of the program, since they are often larger than the plan itself. The program warns us in the following 3 cases. When the object is too large, so it contains more than 50,000 polygons. When the object contains more than 50 materials, or when the physical extension is larger than 100 meters. In the 3D warehouse window, try to find a finely detailed crystal chandelier. By clicking on the object, we can see its properties on the right side. Here we have to pay attention to the polygon number. If this number reaches 50,000, the object is too large. However, we can download it, but we just have to take into account that it might slow down or work. Click on Download and then a pop-up warning message will appear. If you click No, the object will not be downloaded. Now select Yes option and download the object. Let's look at the second case, when the object contains too many materials. Search for this type of object in the 3D warehouse and then download it in order to see what will happen. The program indicates that this object contains 290 materials. The amount of materials under 50 can be considered normal and easy to use in the program. If the answer is no, the downloading happens without materials. Later, we can assign any materials to this object. Now select Yes option and download the object. Once it is placed, let's check its properties. Under Materials, we can see a long list to appear. With the help of the warning messages, we can think over whether it is worth downloading the chosen object or find a smaller one which does not overload our project and doesn't slow down our work. Including the downloaded objects, the number of surfaces is 193,676. Save the project. To reduce the project size, we need to remove unnecessary objects or those which are containing too many materials. This will be the step 2 and step 3. The program helps you to find these objects. To do this, activate the 3D window and select Tools, Info, List of Elements option. In the pop-up dialog window, we can find the 5 solids take the most space in the memory and the 5 items use the most materials. The first group shows the size, polygon number and name of the object. If you click on one, we have the option to delete immediately the selected object. Or, if we don't know which one that is, we can also show that object in the 3D window. Now let's find which one that is and then delete it. In the second group appear the amount of materials included in the object and the name of the object. Let's find that element. In this project, the highest amount of materials have the perfumes. Since the number of materials is 1630, well above 50, we delete this element as well. Still, there is one more large object left, so we also delete it. In case we delete an item, the program automatically shows the actual status. The 5 solids take the most space in the memory, and the 5 items use the most materials. Let's check the surface number. The 193,676 surfaces decreased down to 94,191. Now we have cleared the first saved project from the large size object and from those are containing too many materials. Let's save it under a new name. By comparison, we can see the size difference between the original and the large object-free projects. Step 4 is to delete unused materials from the project. When we delete the object itself, which contains too many materials, the linked materials will stay in the project. Clear from them the project as well. It is important to build the whole model in 3D beforehand. Activate the floor plan window. Select Used Layers from the Layer Manager. It might happen that there are closed layers. Let's open them. Then rebuild the model. Navigate to Design Center, Materials in Model folder. We can see that the number of material is currently 4,370. Click File menu, Save Project As command and save it in the pop-up dialog window, and activate Purge Unused Materials which are not applied on the floor plan and 3D model. And finally click on Save button and save it in Clean Name. Click again on the Materials in Model folder and the number of the items drop down to 80. Check the size of the project in the administrator. The original size of 39 MB has been reduced to 12 MB. If we use these 4 steps during our work, the project can remain ideally sized.